Hello. Today we're looking at a new topic, shame. Um, God, such an enormous topic, this one. And something that is so often an accompaniment to any thought of health or behavior in relation to health or the body, how the ability of it or the appearance of it in relation to sexual expression or um, habits, behaviors. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could spend all of the rest of our lives talking about shame, couldn't we? Um, so it's it's interesting, isn't it? Because we would try to want to get rid of shame. It feels awful. It feels dreadful, and so it looks like it's something that has to be gone. But the thing that wants it gone is the vehicle that makes shame possible. Without an idea of self, shame, what is it? What where would it be? What is it? Because because what we start to see is that, first of all, as far as behavior is concerned, whatever behavior is happening is the only behavior that can happen, always, without fail. It's there's no choice. There is no decision. The self is not deciding anything. It's just whatever makes sense to do is what will be done. And then in comes the self with this commentary. I shouldn't have done that. I should be doing this. No wonder my body's like this because I'm doing this. It's just this in eternal loop of judgment, isn't it? And so shame in terms of behavior makes no sense, really no sense. And in fact, what we can see there is that shame is an intense claiming, isn't it? Maybe it's like the sort of ultimate identification and comparison. There's intense, unquestioned belief that I'm this body, I am these behaviors, I am this state of mind, I am these thoughts, I am these beliefs. Intense, unbroken identification with it, while at the same time a comparison with an ideal of what I should be, what this body should be in terms of appearance or capacity, what or health, how this mind should be, how my behavior should be, how this these thoughts should be. This, and it could be comparison to others, it could be comparison to a past version of ourselves, a future version of ourselves, a magazine, Facebook, a colleague, a sibling, a parent, who knows, like anything's available, isn't it? As a marker of I am this, and it is not good. It's not enough. And it's so not good. It's so not enough that it's actually shameful. Oh God. And how awful that feels, because it's so it's the total antithesis of this and again, there's no ever right word, but like if we think, like if you can think of the most miraculous, stunning, mind-blowing aspect of nature, Like maybe it's the Northern Lights, or maybe the Grand Canyon, or maybe it's a tiny daisy in the grass, or maybe it's a lion prowling, or maybe it's the mountains and hills where you live, or a great lake, or the ocean, or what, like the essence of that beyond abundance, beyond completeness, beyond miraculous expression, beyond beyond beauty, beyond perfection, beyond awe and marvel, you know, that's what we are. That's what we are. That's the truth of us. And that unconditional love, seeing unconditional love, beauty seeing beauty, joy seeing joy, that's who we are. So anytime there's a thought of us, it should really, if in as we come into our most our essence, that's the natural experience of marvel and awe. And so no wonder shame feels so alien and so torturous. And maybe there might even be a thought now, like shame that I'm not feeling love when I look in the mirror, or shame that I don't see beauty when I look at my legs, my hands, or shame that I don't see unlimited potential when I'm in a doctor's waiting room, you know. Shame that I'm somehow not right. And so, yeah, let's notice that. Let's really notice that if that's happening. And notice that in that moment of shame, which is, like we were saying, is maybe the sort of ultimate identification and judgment of this being, that's where the self lives, that's where it exists. Because there are moments where there's no shame, but they're unremarkable. The shame is like grabbing and compelling and so believable, so much evidence as to why shame should be felt, so much evidence. And what we don't realize is that the evidence and the self are all there at the same time. They just ping into existence in one moment and then gone. And so the self, what we can see now, the self trying to not feel shame is another overlay of I'm not okay, I shouldn't be feeling this. There's something wrong with me that I feel shame now, can easily be the way we go. Something wrong with me that I don't see beauty or health or perfection. But we're seeing that it's just in that activity of self. There's no, at that level, there's no possibility of undoing the shame, because it's integral to the identification and objectification. So instead of trying within that to try and get rid of it, to try and, you know, chant beliefs so that we feel right, or you know, write down affirmations or anything like that, we're seeing that the shame exists as the idea of self arises, and so it's temporary. There's nothing fixed about it. There's nothing true about it. It's just a temporary arising up, and the truth is that space, isn't it? It's the space in which that appears. And just I think it would, just to end this piece by talking about embodiment, because with shame, it's so intolerable and it's so clammed into this body. It's so seemingly so much part of this physicality, this mind, this body is not how it should be. It can seem as though the only way to escape it, and it can seem that this conversation is recommending this, is the denial of the body, the moving away from it, out of it. I'm not my body, pushing it away. This isn't me. But actually, what we'll discover is that this entire conversation is the coming into the body, and these if we consider that everything is stored here physically somehow, this to try and escape the body, to try and not be in it, is just keeping those layers of tension and contraction and resistance and pain intact, really. Anything that we push away, we keep it intact. And now there's this coming back in. So it might be that you find yourself through this exploration doing more things that involve the body. Anything. That might just be coming to you now. People doing breath work or yoga or walking or sport or things that bring more and more and more intimacy and awareness into the body, exploring it, the sensations, the feelings. And in that way, these places of shame, rather than being held at arm's length, they're really loved. They're really welcomed in. It's so innocent shame. My God, it's so beautiful. Really, it's so innocent, so beautiful, and has so much possibility in it. It's a whole world is through shame, is through it, and the body is so integral to this exploration. It's so much it's so much the vehicle of completeness and an expression and realization. So we can be very, very, very gentle with this one, because it's such a there's so much in it, and it's so tightly held onto. It's so much a transportation out of this space, out of this body, out of this mind, and we're gently coming back in, seeing what arises, seeing the physical sensations, and there's nothing there that's not love. There's nothing there that's not pure expression, and it can be welcomed back in. That's all we're doing with any of this, is just the space welcomes that separate, that thing that had gone off somewhere. We're welcoming it back, here, right here, into this space. Yeah, this is a big one. I know, I really know, and there's so much that has so much with it. So much with it, that it's the way through. It's the gift. Yeah. So much love. Bye.